Hey guys, it's the Insane Machine Cody Hawkins, and you're watching WGS-TV.
Hey everybody, this is James from the Big Easy, and yes, I am still alive. The Billy and the Bay Area MVP, known as Will, did not kill me yet. So I am still alive for now. Anyway, you probably didn't know by now, I went to ComicCon on February 7th. And I got to meet the one and only WWE Divas champion, AJ Lee. Yes, I bought the VIP experience, so shut up. And no, I did not buy it because I'm the Divas correspondent. Shut up. Shut up, y'all. Anywho, quick note. I can confirm that yes, the host or MC, or whatever you want to call him, did inform the crowd to not ask AJ Lee about the whole situation with CM Punk. He said to the crowd to not ask any questions about a certain someone who may or may not be with the company anymore. So there's no mention of Punk. Well, there is mention of Punk like here and there from like questions, but nobody said Punk name exactly, but you could hear like best in the world or whatever. So please enjoy the video. I apologize for the video quality and the audio if it's low because I recorded off an iPad and the iPad, but you know, if you like it, then you know, it's a thumbs up. So please enjoy the video.
Let's hear it for AJ Lee! I was drinking one of those too before this battle. Gotta keep the energy up.
This is coffee, it's smell.
How are you today?
I am very well. How is everyone doing?
A little bit. You definitely have some diehards sitting outside for a while waiting to see you.
Oh.
How does that make you feel? Is that flattering or is it kind of freaky?
It's not freaky at all. It's surreal. It's just like, yeah, it's me.
And then you see individuals that are dressed as you.
I took some pictures with them earlier.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. Well, if you have a question for AJ, go ahead. Feel free to line up. And she was one of the diehards waiting in line for a while, so we won't make her wait any longer.
So, I was just wondering, do you have any advice for a child or anyone who wants to be a future WWE diva?
Yeah, it's well documented that I wanted to do this since I was 12, and was very serious about it, and so I think a lot of times you can be, however young you are, say the most grand of goals, and people kind of don't believe you, because they think you're young, you're not serious, but I was so serious, so anytime anyone tells me that, I take it seriously. Oh, come on.
Oh!
He's like, calm down.
Oh!
I'll find a way, right?
Yes, so I take it seriously, and so, you have my support. That's something you want to do. I hope you're kicking my butt one day. But it is. Okay, who can help you there. So I took drama classes, and I tried cheerleading, and little things I thought would kind of help me get there. And I also thought I was going to be like a writer in like the WWE. That's the only way I could possibly get in. So I studied writing and actually got in college, and it's just take it little step by step, and you can eventually make the giant goal actually happen.
Awesome. And you are amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Diva ever. Okay, really.
I think you're being a hype person.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite part about wrestling?
It's funny because there's so much and so much time that it's kind of spent on everything else, and then you're out there for like 5 minutes. So that 5 minutes, that's really, it makes every kind of head before and after worth it. There's just nothing in the world like just being in the ring for however long it gets. How are you going to reach that?
Why did you want to be in the WWE?
My brother was like my best friend growing up, and my sister was the girl who took girls, and my brother, was into comics and wrestling, and so I just kind of followed everything that he did, and just set out as he was, watching it, and actually
hold this one? Oh, sorry.
so I just
That's good. Yeah. All right, can you change it? But I'm actually going to ask a question. Oh, all right. So just record.
Yeah, so
Now, that young lady there is actually kind of dangerous. Let me tell you, when it comes to people waiting to get in, there was nobody louder and more aggressive than that. I was a bit fearful for my life.
well, if you're tiny, you have to, tap the rubber touch.
And that she does. That she does. Superman.
First of all, what's your favorite video game?
My favorite video game? Of all time, I always kind of toss up between Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy X. I love Final Fantasy X. Everyone gets that reaction. They like 7 or 3, but 10 is all about it. It's supposed to come out on like Diva too at some point, but I just have to get that. But right now, I'm very late discovered Skyrim, and I'm obsessed with it. I know it's like 3 years later, but I'm just that's all I do. I go home and I put on sweats, and I don't have a lot of friends.
Me neither.
Yeah, that's too much. Okay, that's good. Video games.
The same question is, what's your favorite superhero in Marvel and DC?
I think growing up, I was more of a Marvel girl, and I was really kind of connected with Jean Grey and kind of all forms of her. I've said before a lot, like the Dark Phoenix saga is what made me start writing at a really young age. Like I just thought that was really interesting. And then now I kind of have such a love for Harley Quinn, so I guess that'd be a size of me.
The crazy ones.
There's a thread there.
Speaking of Harley Quinn from DC. Oh, wait.
Yeah, you said no.
Oh, I'm doing this, okay. Well, villains. Who's your favorite villain?
I guess Harley's kind of a villain.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I think like in wrestling, I am the type that kind of goes for more of the villains, but I think in comics I'm on the side of the guys usually.
Can I have a hug?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I think this is the time where we say no repeat questions. We got the skipping and the hugging out of the way.
I jump off the stage, but it was like impossible for me to step up. It's like a new thing.
Well, how did you develop the Black Widow signature?
When I was in FCW, Norman Smiley, who's an old wrestler, he was a trainer there, and he thought it would be something that would be useful for me. And
person who gave you those comics.
Oh yeah, thank you.
I'm about to ask a question that I think everyone would like to know. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is the possibility of you going against Lita at WrestleMania 30?
Oh man, I would love to. I think there's people that I've always looked up to, and like aren't with the company anymore, like Lita and Trish and Molly and Victoria, who actually kind of like stops by a lot, and I always get kind of excited because I'm like, just want to go on the match. So if it were up to me, and if I would make all my dream matches happen, like those women and Stephanie. Oh my gosh. That would probably so I wish, but it's not up to me.
What persona of your character do you like better, the crazy girl face or the crazy girl heel?
I don't know. It's fun to. It's funny because when it was supposed to be, I guess the good guy. I was a terrible person. Like I was putting people through tables and just making out with anyone, and like that's not a good guy. And then I had like a steady boyfriend and a loving relationship when I was the bad guy, and so like that was weird. I was like, I'm not doing anything wrong. Like we were like a happy couple. Like it was so odd. And then now I'm kind of it's more of who I really am. Like on commentary, just like cracking jokes and just trying to ruin myself and see how far I get until I get in trouble. And so it's like so now it's like somewhere in the middle, and yet I'm still kind of a bad guy, but now they like cheer for me. So it's never been black or white. So I've never considered myself one or the other. Because that's just been something. Thank you.
When you do commentary, is that something you're giving a lot of notice of, or just like an hour before the show, hey, go out and talk?
Sometimes, yeah, it could be, last minute, or I'll know maybe like 5 or 6 o'clock that day. And I think the first time I ever had it was like on NXT, and I had to like beat unresolved M&Ms or something like that, and I just having a panic attack or like talking was not like this thing I wanted to ever thought I would be able to do. And now it's like I kind of beg for it. I really, really try to get in trouble. Like I try to see, and then the fun thing is they have such a good sense of humor about things and an open mind when it comes to the shades of gray. And, they always get handshakes and always like, excellent job. It makes everybody else angry. But it's like the most fun thing to do. I can't wait. And I never plan anything except to go out there and just crack on people.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. I got a few questions. The first one is, what decided to get have you decide to get that tattoo in the back of your neck for the date?
Well, everyone in my family is like covered in tattoos, and my parents had us really young and are kind of forward thinking. So when I was 15, we were like didn't have a lot of money, and he was a guy that did tattoos, but and he would tattoo me for free. And I was 15, and my parents were like, "Yeah, go for it." And I was like, "No, like, I'm gonna do my homework now." So I was very much like a parent growing up. So I thought I would never get a tattoo, and kind of just thought if I did, it would be something that meant a lot to me. And so it represents the title, but what to me really represents is a 14-year struggle and kind of fight to get out of poverty and a life that was, barely livable. And the end goal was always, this, and just be able to say I was the best, and I have to do it. And so just mark it on and kind of figure out what the next goal is.
Speaking of which, when you had that feud with Caitlin, we all know that we all still friends with her. How do you feel that connected on screen and off screen?
I think it's always best when people working together get along, and it's easier to punch your best friend in the face, I think. You know, I just was something like, oh, you know that they'll forgive you. But there was just something about that, especially that time where there was so much creative liberty, and so much of it was our, suggestions and just kind of stuff that we really had our hands in. So not only are we like super proud of like I think the chemistry that we had, but we're proud of it because we felt like we were a big part of the creative process. And it's like not, I guess it's not like super known, but I think maybe like 5 or 6 times segments that were just being heard were the #1 rated segment on the Bronx. And to 2 girls that are just, from NXT, kind of nobody's, and women, that's insane. So I don't know if I'll ever get that better than that time.
Next one is, how do you feel to be part of the WWE comics that out right now?
I haven't actually read them at all, but I got a pretty awesome Christmas present that was the original artwork for the cover that we covered them on, and it's like a Fantastic Four like so I'm like doing the Peaceful Girls pose. It's so cool. It's really awesome.
Thank you. Talk about your segments being some of the higher rated segments. Will we ever in our lifetime see a WrestleMania headline by Divas?
Oh gosh. Realistically, no. Just because. I don't know. I think the women that are here now and have been here before would have been the ones. And I look toward the future and hope that there's that other generation that pops up. But if it's not right now, or if it wasn't 7 years ago, it would have to be in 5 or 10 years, or who knows? I don't know if we have that yet, that magic. I wish, oh my God, I wish. I don't even know if we'd be able to get a main event on Raw or SmackDown again. Because it depends. But to have 2 women that got a #1 rated segment, I hope they remember that. I hope they can see that people care, about girls and the story, and so fingers crossed.
I understand that.
Hey, AJ. People with this fish I have a couple questions as well. I guess it was the Pipe Bomb show. I wonder what the reaction was from the other divas and everybody else backstage when she came back through the curtain. Like, what was that? The fish is like, really? Okay.
Deafening silence. Yeah, it's funny because who I am is just very quiet and I'm not. I say anything that like I think I just kind of say it. Like, but other than that, I'm super quiet. I'm not a troublemaker, and so every time I go out, I turn into this kind of douchey, jerk, and so different. And I hope people can see that it's our job. Okay. I hope people can tell the difference between what is necessary for us. It's like taking your medicine. No one wants to take your medicine and take testing, but it's going to make you feel better. So, this is kind of rude and terrible and really honest what I'm saying because it helps all in the long run. It's kind of how I saw it, and it really did for a while, and I think it could have been much better if the professionalism surrounding it backstage was a little bit more, just a little bit better. And okay, let's move forward with this, So it was a little disappointing.
I was so excited. I was like, was like, what? I got right there, like, doing her like, don't be careful what you say. We were like, you're amazing. Oh my God. So yeah, I feel like I got caught too, but.
I think
it was awesome.
I really wish we had done a little bit more with that, but I think it wasn't in order to keep everyone happy, which
And my other question is, I'm also a huge Stephanie fan of art.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, what advice or she has given you at all about your career, or just kind of pick your brain at all, or?
I have so much, and I kind of, I'm just probably no one that I get like super giggly and nervous around. It's so bad. Like I
You grew up with her, you really grew up watching her.
yeah. And then she goes here, you know, and so I'm so terrible and embarrassing. I think she's just always like so uncomfortable. But she's one of those people that is like genuinely sweet and warm and helpful. So I've gone to a lot just for stuff backstage or just general, you know, how do I manage all this craziness. And there's actually maybe one of the coolest moments in my life. I was out there for commentary, I can't remember, maybe right after the pipe bomb shop, and all the announcers were like really tearing into me.
I remember that, yeah.
I was not prepared for that, and I didn't think that happened, and I was just kind of like, you know,
Give it back.
yeah. And I thought I was going to get in a lot of trouble, and I saw her backstage, and she was like, whoa, you were not to mess with. And I was like, well, they were, you know, attacking me, I had to attack back, it was real out there. And then she came to me next week, and she said, thank you for reminding me that you have to, it has to be real, you have to really feel it and react. And so that was, for her to say anything like that to me, and thank you so much.
You hear a lot about method acting and people really getting into the roles and characters. You talk about being a douchey jerk. Is it, you ever find yourself at moments where you forgot to turn that off, maybe?
Okay.
Yes.
We gave them, like, you know, have a joke that there's probably curse words in it. But, I'm so honest, and, like, at all times, and, she was saying the other day, she's like, you aren't always the nicest person, but I always know you're going to say the truth, because, you know, if someone's like, oh my god, this stuff is so great, I'm like, oh, it's terrible. Like, I just, like, can't. And so that part is just who I am. Like, I think that is funny, like, I think it's funny to kind of, like, brag. Like, this is my sense of humor, and I'm never, like, mean-spirited. I think some people don't get that. I think some people like it to be super sweet and, like, phony all the time, and I'm not that. So I guess that's cool. But I think the, like, method stuff was a lot more difficult and interesting because like I'd have to have breakdowns every week because I would have to go to a very dark place to do that. And that's so much fun.
Dark place.
Yeah.
Well, her first question was going to be mine, so I'm going to ask you the other two questions. I'm going to ask you, Claire or Dusty?
What was that?
Claire or Dusty?
I love Dusty because I've worked with him in SCW, and so I have to kind of be biased, and I credit him for, you know, a lot of what I've learned. And then on the other side, I've also had Claire pelvic thrust out my face. It's funny. You know, it's kind of the common man versus, you know, something that's the opposite of me. So I think I would always go for Dusty, but I do have that respect for Claire.
Dusty's the right answer. And my final question is, can you explain to us how to install the WWE app? Michael Cole doesn't turn it on.
Then you went out on Raw.
So much fun.
Thank you.
Hi.
So I really love NXT, and I think everyone who's come up has really just added so much, and I've been super excited to see more NXT ladies getting pulled up. And I was just sort of wondering, like, if you've got any recommendations on who to really be watching for.
The really cool thing, and I don't mean this in a way to knock any other girls now, because I mean they wouldn't be making money and traveling on television if they weren't talented. But there's something different about the NXT girls in which I think they know who they are a little bit better, and that makes such a difference because they're these very unique packages in one, and then there's like 7 of them that are just, that I've never seen so many girls that are so talented already before they're even at the big stage. And it will go so far to kind of know who you are. Like I remember before our NXT, which was I texted that in the night. But I was gonna debut with Dolph, which is hilarious actually, years before. He was with Vicky. I was gonna do something with them, and I didn't know what to wear. And I was just like, oh, do I get just a dress? And I had no idea. I just didn't know who I was, or wasn't confident enough to make that decision and wear my sneakers and not care. So I would have been completely different. I would have been stuck in a mold if it had happened too early like that. These girls are braver than that. Like, they are who they are now. And I think we just had Emma come up, and she's really cute and just like a good person. She's really respectful. And Paige, I've worked before, and she's just a breeze and so talented. I have a very, very special love for Bailey. I don't know if you guys see a lot of her stuff, but she's so good and so funny, and I think that we have an open mind with all those girls and kind of showcase them for who they are and not trying to become something else. We'll have to learn to do in a couple of years.
That's sort of what I think. I mean, you can actually care for, I don't want to sound mean, but you can care a little more about the NXT girls because they're more than just in a high suit face on the top of the roof. It's really great to see that.
I mean, it's
not that there's anything wrong with that.
I mean, I said it too. I think you need the beautiful, tall, Barbie-like blondes because it makes the pages different. Because if they were all pages, then nothing would be different. But you need like the summers and those very traditional, gorgeous girls to make the other girls, different. So there's just balance to be with everything. But we should say, push the girls are different. Thank you.
She asked about NXT, which is about to be shown weekly on WWE Network.
Yes.
And assuming you're interested, will the WWE hook you up with the network, or do you have to pay to get your own network?
Oh, gosh. I haven't asked them
I've always wondered about that.
I mean, we don't get pay-per-views. I mean, you can sit down here and watch them and get the DVD. But if I watch it over it, I have to. Like, my mom was always so mad she has to read the pay-per-views.
So there's you guys have to buy your own action figures and whatnot.
I will say they're very, very, very generous. Like, for merch and action figures and stuff, I just kind of ask, and I'll get a buck sent to me.
Then you need to tell Kofi to ask, because Kofi loves telling the story about how he gets busted at Toys R Us by himself.
First, Final Fantasy X is my favorite too.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, I have two questions. I was in the crowd with the Rumbles, and I just wanted the vocal majority that was a little upset with things. And when we chanted, we want divas, speaking for myself, I was upset you weren't on the card. But my question is, what can we really do as fans? What really counts the most towards helping our favorite SKU get where we want you to be and where you want to be? So buying merchandise, making signs, chanting, yelling, what helps the most?
Good question.
That is a good question. And also during the Rumble, I thought that was just an ironic way to do this. Gosh, I don't know. Sometimes kind of all the stars come align and you can do the absolute best that you can do and still lose. And sometimes that happens. I don't know. It's sometimes just there's a big picture that maybe you guys can't see, and you can't see yourselves, that kind of the powers that be can see, and we just kind of have to trust and go along with it and see what happens. When it comes to divas, I think it does. If people are loud, they care during their matches. If merchandise and stuff like that does make a difference. I'll tell you a story. A year ago, I had a bunch of people tweet me oh, you should have a shirt. And so I started to just take little screen caps of every tweet, and I would get hundreds and send them to shop, and they were like, no, girls don't sell. And a year later, they were like, okay. And I go back and forth being the number 5 top seller. And they were like, oh, okay. And after 30 or 40 things on shop, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, let's make other girls things. And so little things like that, like sometimes there needs to be a really, really long fight, and then once they see it works, they'll kind of remind everyone. So you'll probably start seeing a lot more like little shirts and little merchandise and stuff now. So I definitely would like to take that from every girl. But so I don't have the answer. I wish I did, but sometimes it, it takes a long time.
Right. Okay. Second question. I teach college full time for a living, and I need to give a pep talk to one of my classes. So I essentially borrowed from Nick Foley when he gave me the edge into a promo on my class. Have you learned anything in wrestling that you apply to your real life?
I don't know. I guess it sounds super cheesy, but not being afraid to say whatever's on your mind, like you just be who you are. And like NXT, as the most terrifying thing that ever happened to me, was so terrifying. But I didn't go put sneakers on and leave my hair messy, not wear the makeup, and just be who I am, and like do the robot handshake behind you with that. I wouldn't have realized that that's what's going to make me money and make me successful. I just wasn't brave. And so, like, having those opportunities in wrestling to just kind of, like, grow a pair and just go for something kind of makes you realize like, what's going to happen if you tell people how you feel. You just do what is not the safe choice, or, take that risk. And that's kind of how that has mixed in real life and in wrestling. I will always do what seems like the harder choice, and sometimes it does not pay off. But sometimes it does.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
I'm glad you're still a little cousin this morning. I have about two questions for you. One is, growing up with the WWE for actually involved nearly all my life. I just turned 28 today, and thank you.
I was like, you are 16.
Thank you. And growing up watching wrestling with my grandmother when I was young before she passed, and she always does watch wrestling. And noticed that through the generations, I actually came through these top wrestlers and everything, especially watching from the leaders like Fabio Smula and Mania, coming up to see China and Jazz, and these new stars that come out, especially from NXT. My question is, what would your legacy be when you leave the WWE? That is, if you decide to still be a part of the company for the rest of your career or your life?
Oh gosh. I feel like if I left tomorrow, I will have done it the exact way that I dreamed of, and that's super comforting. And I will have done everything that I ever wanted to. And I just wanted to be seen as something different and be successful and do things that girls hadn't done before while staying me and doing it my way. And I've gotten to do that. And it took them being very open-minded to, have someone who's completely new and didn't really look like the other girls and didn't dress like them, and to put them in position with, top guys. And so they kind of answered all my prayers when it came to that. So I hope that what I leave is for the girls that come after me. So people don't think, okay, we can't have someone like a Bailey or a Paige be successful. I want them to look and be like, well, AJ did it, So that's what I always wanted to do, and as Caitlin and I discussed this as she was kind of leaving, was that I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving until I knew that I left in a better place than when I came in. For women.
And a secondary question, I know it's not off the subject, but going to cons and going to these events especially, and you're like everyone dressing up, have you ever considered actually doing cosplay work?
Oh man, I try to do it like, I've had a couple opportunities when we had like a Halloween costume outfits or whatever. And I was Raphael like one year, and I was Katana, which is like the closest I've ever come to like, I've had such an obsession with Katana, and I tried the fan lift on Sweden and get it could tell us who the band. But like, like an entire year was like the only thing like good I ever did. But so yeah, I try to do that if I can on television. I had a whole Harley outfit ready, but they changed the plans I think like a year ago. I was so sad. I was dying to be part of it too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi. Oh my God, this is falling for me. Okay. So that actually is related to my question. So I'm super short. I'm wearing large heels and great. And when I was younger, I wanted to be a diva. And I really gave up on that because I'm short and I never ever want to get certain things enhanced. And so I was wondering, how is it that you're tiny and adorable and so like how did you be able to do that? The funny thing, and I sound like a motivational speaker all the time, but the funniest thing to me is things that people will look at and say are like your biggest obstacle into doing something. You just have to turn it around and make it like what makes you special and be like the biggest benefit to you. So being like half of a person and you know, and being sort of like pubescent and stuff, at the time worked. Like I don't think like the Daniel Bryan, like me being meek and quiet and in an abusive relationship would have worked if I was like this like buxom bombshell. You know, I don't think it would have worked if it wasn't this kind of neat, average girl. And so just kind of the stars align and if I am like I can't wear anything but like Target tank tops and sneakers. Like I can't. And if that works, like there are girls that need that to see that on TV, you know, and I was very adamant about that. It was really hard, but and it works. So I just kind of stopped. Someone mentioned Diva before. Like she gave me this really great advice. She said, you can't be a crappy version of a hot girl. Yeah. Because like, and not to be like super self-deprecating, but I don't look like those girls. I'm not those girls, and I'm okay with that. Like, I love who I am. She said, don't be a crappy version of those girls. Be the best version of yourself. Which that will be everywhere, and that's kind of my advice to every woman. It's just in general in life, but also if you do want to get in this.
I also love you as a heel. It's like my favorite.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, I've been wrestling kind of my whole life, and my perception of what it takes to be a good wrestler would involve athleticism and technique and mic skills and charisma and all the things that the guys had and that the women have had over the years. But when I've watched you over the last few years in WWE develop, there's something more. There's a lot more in-depth personality to your character. And I've always wondered when watching you if you had any type of a formal background in acting, because to me, very few wrestlers or entertainers in the wrestling industry have been able to accomplish the range of personality and emotion and body language. It's not just getting over and selling the character, but your acting ability alone is, maybe 10 wrestlers in the history of wrestling don't accomplish that. So I wonder, do you have any kind of formal training, or is it just all coming from inside?
Well, first, thank you. I appreciate that. I studied film and television. I was interested in like the opposite side of the camera. I was never super comfortable being looked at. So I just like wrote stories and stuff my whole life. So I think that like element of drama was always in my head, and I was always a fan. So I think knowing the business and like it's something about that makes you kind of know what the right reactions are, the right moments, and just from what you've seen and I don't know, I just but I never acted or anything like that, but we joke about it before, but like when it comes to weird stuff, like kind of those darker moments on TV, like you kind of have to be willing to shut something off in your brain and kind of mess yourself up a little bit and go there. And I would always be super messed up after too, like you know, like after certain things, I was freaking out, and like I got like just super antsy and like that was really fun to me as like an experiment to get with it. That's like art to me, you know. I do see it as art, like it's not a job, it's not, you know, like it's not just like a sport to me. It is, we're all artists, and I guess I think some people get like super frustrated sometimes, or you can get like so happy depending on where you are, because it is your art and how if you're not expressing yourself as much as you want to be, it can be super frustrating. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, secondarily on that same subject line, to me, I don't know about these guys if they agree, but I could see after you stop wrestling, one of the few females to ever take it to like, maybe not action star like The Rock, but definitely lots of versatile roles on TV or in film. Is that something that you think about after wrestling?
No, it's funny because like my parents never really got this, and so they think it's really cool, but they sort of don't understand the scale of it. And my mom's like, "You should be in a soap opera." Like, you know, like to them that's like was really cool. So like I'm really successful if I did that. It's like I'm on TV. But I've never been interested in A, doing anything other than this, but B, like known. Like it's very weird to me to like not be in the ring and like you guys in Miami, that's really weird to me. Like, you know, like to me, like I walk out and like I'm able. You know, it's I'm a writer, you know, I do really like behind the scenes stuff, so it's odd to kind of be in the limelight. So I don't think it's anything I would ever chase. But I always joke that like I would love to be in like video game remake movies or just do anything like a whole story, like, you know, like that'd be cool. But you know, I don't really have any interest in that.
Well, we love your range and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're starting to run long on time, so if we could keep the rest of the questions to one question per person, that'd be great. Thanks.
Have you ever played Flappy Bird?
What was that?
Have you ever played Flappy Bird?
No.
She was really disappointed when other people screamed good.
Oh no, it's Flappy Bird. No, I'll never know.
You are a bird, and you gotta dodge pipes, and it gets harder every...
Oh, this is like an act or something. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm really getting the jewels right now.
So favorite WWE general manager ever goes to you.
Thank you.
I miss those as well, to be honest. Although your ring entrance is far more interesting. So sadly disregarding he who should not be named best in the world, who is your favorite person to valet/work with?
I really loved the topic. I think it was like 9 months that Adolph and I were together. It was, I think the first time it was kind of like a team effort, whereas before I was very much a student. Just kind of taking direction and being like super open-minded. But it was fun to like be a part of it, of the process more, and to just slap everybody every match. But I don't know. I think in my heart, like what my favorite time was the Punk Brian King fiasco. That was those guys were amazing and so helpful and made me the capable that I am today.
Thank you. If you see things, I will love it.
Who is your dream opponent?
I guess one match I would love to have in front of them is to wrestle Stephanie. That'd be so much fun.
I made her deal. She came up and asked a question. I had to ask a question. So, following that one gentleman's question about your acting, if you ever do leave WWE, which would be your like dream role to do? Like, what them to either redo the whole Xena series or something like that?
Oh gosh. I don't know. I never really thought of that. But it definitely is some sort of, badass chick who has a weapon and a really cool outfit. I think I like how I tried very hard to just dress like Lara Croft every day.
Thank you very much.
What are your 3 favorite things to do on your day off?
I'm so boring.
They give you days off?
No, like that one day off. I like who I was before I started here is basically the way I want to get off. Like it just stopped being putting makeup on. And so like I'm the worst. I will go home and I will get in sweats and play video games and sit on the couch and eat really bad food. I'm so boring. I like maybe work out, but it makes me so happy to just sit. We don't just sit a lot. We like to do nothing. So that would, yeah, and
Thank you. Every time Caitlin spears you, it hurt me.
it hurt me on the inside. I think I can't have babies anymore.
I always wonder, what is your weirdest fan interaction?
I don't know about weirdest, because I think I am the weirdest person, and so I could never be like, no, like I can't. But I've had some scary, like maybe there should be a handbook of like, maybe don't do this. I walked out of a hotel room one time, literally opened the door, and was in the hall, and somebody opened their door, and like somebody had found out where I was and booked a room next to me and was waiting for me to walk outside. And I was like, I could be dead. Like, like sometimes it's like, maybe that should be a rule. Just a human contact rule. Yeah, so that would probably be the sketchiest.
And to follow up that guy's question about you being in a movie, I think that you could be the movie version of Bayonetta.
Ooh.
It should be.
Could you put a staff?
Alright, so this isn't really a question, but I joked with you earlier about Swedish fish, and I just randomly stumbled upon something. So, here's the Swedish fish.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm back again.
There you go.
Who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
I always had a very special love for Eddie Guerrero. There's something about like, his attitude that reminds me of like my dad. And what he was able to do, whether he was a good guy or a bad guy, he was the same guy. And I thought that was so genius, like how you can just kind of tweak a little thing, make people hate you, or do like, oh, I'm doing this terrible thing, but like you love me for it. Like that's so great. Like so I always wanted to kind of capture that and be a female version of that.
Whether you're a villain or a hero, I'll always be a big fan.
Thank you.
And I think you're the best in the world.
Thank you.
Well, I think that was our last question, but you were coming back to this town not too long from now. Is there any plans in motion? Are you, do you know if you're going to officially be a part of it to some extent? Maybe you can't tell us, but...
I wish I knew. That is sort of the one thing I haven't done, which is wrestle. And I've been so lucky to be a part of it. Last year there was no girls, there were no women on the show, it was just me. And so like I'm lucky to have I've been super grateful for that, but I want to wrestle and be really great wrestler at this event. But I don't know. So fingers crossed, good future everybody. But I hope that I get to do that.
Excellent. What's your Twitter handle in case
somebody somehow thought I would follow you.
It's WWE AJ Lee. I'm a little bit of a hiatus at the moment, but.
I appreciate your time today. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it.